live in a world filled with the unknown. Ghosts and spirits wander through our physical dimension. Undiscovered creatures lurk in the shadows, and strange lights and craft seem to dominate our skies. Modern science refuses to acknowledge their existence, yet credible eyewitnesses are convinced these things are real, and it's up to independent researchers to search for the truth. Welcome to Unknown Origins Radio.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Unknown Origins Radio. I'm your host, Mark Johnson, and once again tonight I'm joined by Lauren DePinto. Hey, Lauren.
Hi, Mark.
And Carrie Ann Versace.
Hi, Mark.
Now, you guys just came back from a wild several days in Gettysburg for the Phenomenology 103 event, right?
Yep, yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Now, I have to tell you, I'm so insanely jealous because I had to stay here and work my day job and couldn't get away. But, I mean, from what I saw on Facebook and your pictures and all the stories, it sounds like you guys had a wild time.
Yeah, what happens at Phenomenology shows up on Facebook.
Yeah.
It sure doesn't stay at Phenomenology.
No.
I had no idea what to expect, going down to Phenomenology, but I have to say it exceeded my expectations. I had such a good time. I mean, the entire day was filled. There was a whole itinerary. There were speakers. We had speakers like Travis Walton, who was the abductee, from the movie, The Fire in the Sky that was portrayed about him. We had, John Zaffis was there, Rosemary Ellen Guiley, who spoke about the djinn. That was fascinating. I really, really enjoyed that. And, other guests, we had, Chris Fleming there, from Dead Famous, and Chip Coffey.
All great people. I mean, actually, a couple of those people were trying to get on the show for future shows, so keep your fingers crossed. Now, I also heard that, the Kling brothers were there from the former Ghost Lab show, and Dave Schrader from Darkness Radio, and
Scared, we were there.
And Scared, yes. Carrie was there representing Scared.
With the whole clan. And one of the other guests that was there was Tony Pickman. He was there with his family. And Tony Pickman is actually known for the Sally House. He's the gentleman that was scratched by the spirits there. And that's been portrayed on many of the TV shows.
Now, just so for people who are not aware of this event, this was the third annual event, Phenomenology. They called it Phenomenology 103. Now, this event is thrown every year in Gettysburg by Dana and Chris Wingert from NEPI, which is a local paranormal investigation group, just like ours. They were able to put this event together 3 years ago and started inviting a lot of the different para-celebrities, and before they knew it, it snowballed into this wonderful several-day-long conference where the public can come in and meet with all the different celebrities and talk about their experience and actually go on some real ghost hunts, which I guess you guys had your own little experiences while you were there.
So, yeah, Scared actually was posted at the Jenny Wade House, and we were with the Constantinos, and I was fortunate enough to be able to work with them, and we'll be talking about some of the EVPs that we caught there. It was pretty amazing. Other places that they were able to investigate was the General Lee, the Tilly House, and
the farmhouse in the back.
Farmhouse in the back.
Hotel.
Yeah, the Eisenhower.
I love Gettysburg, and it's such a historic town. Now, actually, I heard that the scariest event over the weekend was Scarioke.
That was fantastic.
Let me tell you, it was pretty amazing. The Kling brothers, they can sing that Johnny Cash like nobody's business.
Sure, and Patrick Burns and Marley Gibson. Oh, it was great.
They were our guests a few weeks ago, and you guys finally got the chance to meet them in person.
It was a pleasure to spend time with them. It really was. They're so much fun. So personable, so approachable. It was great. Well,
that's great. Now, we actually have some people who were at the I can't even talk tonight. Phenomenology event. Here with us tonight is our guests. That would be Mark and Debby Constantino. They are very famous EVP specialists, EVP standing for Electronic Voice Phenomenon. That's where we, in our field, we use digital audio recorders and different types of recording equipment, and we capture disembodied voices and sounds that we did not hear at the time but wind up on our recorders, and appears to be some type of spirit communication. Well, Mark and Debby have specialized in that for years. They've appeared on numerous television shows such as Ghost Adventures and Dead Famous, and they're here with us tonight to talk about their experiences in Gettysburg. So, Mark and Debby, how are you doing tonight?
doing well. It was kind of a little hectic. Mercury's in retrograde tonight, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Now, you folks were just out in Gettysburg for Phenomenology 103, and we were talking earlier about all the different guests that were out there, and it sounded like everybody had a pretty wild time.
Yeah, it was. It's always really cool out there. It's an awesome town, and yeah, we got some good results with the investigations that we did.
Yeah, and I mean, it's amazing. Dana has so many speakers out there, and we got to meet so many people like Steve LeChance, the Pickmans, Deborah and Tony Pickman, people, you know, the Johnsons, people you don't get to really meet on the West Coast. And it was really awesome.
Now, you did a few investigations while you were there. Tell us what happened in the Farnsworth house.
Well, you know, actually, we didn't do the Farnsworth house this round. We did it in Phenomenology 102. And actually, we had stayed there, I believe after Phenomenology 101, we stayed a few extra days. But what can I say? You know, it's one of the top 3 since, you know, we've been doing this since 2005, been kind of traveling all over the place. The Farnsworth in Gettysburg has to be on my top 3. We had rented it with another, 2 other people, stayed in the Sarah Black room. No, I'm sorry, Mark, were we in this? We rented the Sweeney and Sarah Black. So we had 2 rooms adjacent to one another. We had the entire Farnsworth, which you have a key to let yourself in, a key to let yourself out. Nobody, you know, that's not staying in the hotel can go in or out. So we knew we were alone. We had, well, I guess it started out, we would hear what I consider to be residual only because there's a grandfather clock in there. And it would go off, you know, on the hour, every hour, and it was really loud, and it would resonate through you. And we would hear a heavy, booted footsteps. I mean, so heavy, it was like a person. You know, psychically, I could feel like I'm going to be shot. And the person I was with, you know, she was also sensitive, felt the same reaction. It was almost like, you know, the movie Last House on the Left. It was almost like hiding yourself in a room and knowing you're going to be killed. That's what
scary.
I felt. And but you would hear it, and it would be like every hour. Now we stayed in the front room. I believe it to be the Sarah Black room, where there's a window that overlooks the street. You know, the people in the next room were actually filming. They caught what they think is residual bullets. I'm laying in bed, and I'm seeing, you know, like sprites, but they're shooting across the ceiling. And I explained that to them, and then, you know, my friend Mike is like, well, hey, you know, we got what we think is residual bullets. They're in the next room. You know, and I don't get scared. You know, there's 3 locations that I get scared at, and, you know, the Farnsworth is one. We hear this guy walking, and I guess if you're in the Sarah Black room, there's the bathroom there, which was at one time a nursery, I believe. Or what was it, Mark? Children's hot.
Yeah, I think it was like a nursery or something like that. It had to do with children.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and,
where the little boy actually passed away, Debbie. I stayed in that room, so I know what you're talking about. That the bathroom in that room. Yeah, it was the boy's nursery.
Right, but outside, you know, if the bathtub is there, but there's a door right there at the foot of the stairs, you could hear, and I mean clearly, and I'm not just saying I heard it, all 4 of us heard it, loud, heavy-booted footsteps that it's almost like a soldier, you know, like stopping at every door, and you get the feeling they're opening the door, opening fire, and moving on. And it was so heavy. And even Mark remarked, I think you were the first one to hear it, you could hear the metals as he walked, whatever metals he had on, chinging. What else did we get? And this would happen, like we would hear the grandfather clock, and we were trying to kind of time it because, you know, we wanted to videotape it. We had a camera set up there, and we're like, God, this is happening like every so often. And, you know, we did catch some things on video, but, you know, video is another deal. We have over 100 tapes that we still, you know,
haven't looked through.
Yeah, go figure. But, I mean, it is just such an awesome place.